Hi, this is Nick Jervis, marketing for solicitors from Samson Consulting, and this is the video I promised you showing you how to use the Google AdWords keyword tool to do your search. So if we go to Google and type in Google AdWords keyword tool, click on the link, and you're taken into the tool. If you are not logged into Google, as you can see up here in the top right of the screen, if you're not logged in, you'll have to put in some of that terrible code you get on a page, so we don't really want to do that. We want to make sure that we can just easily put in keywords. So if we follow on the example I showed you in this month's Marketing for Solicitors circular, put in here some keywords relating to Reading solicitors. Don't need to do anything else. Before you click search, just click on keyword ideas rather than ad group ideas. Click search and it will produce search results for you. The ones you've entered will be highlighted across the top of the screen here, so the three you put in the box, 2 or 3, will come up there. It shows you the search term you put in, the competition for AdWords, but we're using this just to see what sort of traffic's out there, the global monthly searches, and then because Reading solicitor is very focused on that UK market, very similar amount of local monthly searches. So that gives you what you're looking for, but the point, or more interestingly, is what's down here underneath, where Google's giving you other suggestions for ideas. So what I like to do if I'm thinking of trying to get an article, I want to write something or find out if I can get some more traffic for a certain search term, if you click this local monthly searches button twice, first time it gives you the highest searches. That's not really very useful for us. If we go back, we get from the lowest searches, and you'll start to see some more interesting search terms come up, very focused on Reading because that's the lower volumes. You've got other firm names there such as Hewitt Solicitors Reading, Pittman Solicitors Reading, but once you get to a sort of 50 to 100, it becomes quite interesting. So what I do is look down here and say, okay, well, if I'm an immigration solicitor in Reading, if I did a blog on immigration solicitors in Reading, that's going to get very targeted traffic very quickly. Conveyancing solicitors Reading, again. So these are search terms or items you could write an article or a blog post about, which will, if you do everything I've shown you using the meta tags, description tags, you will more likely than not get to the front page of Google very quickly because it's a low volume but very focused search term. The longer the search term is, the better. See if we can find any more interesting ones. Solicitor Reading Berkshire, that's okay. So as you tick them, what you can see is it puts them all here on the left hand side, and I'll show you what we do with that in a minute, but highlight the ones you like the look of. Caversham, which I know from days when I lived there, is next to Reading, so again that's an interesting one. Solicitors open on Saturday, I think that's something we're probably going to have to see more of in the ever-changing legal services market. Recommended solicitors, let's keep going, and there's only 250 searches, often there's as many as 800 or 1,000. Reading Law Firm, that's quite interesting. 1,300 search terms, and Law Firm Reading the same. But I just think we're seeing a lot more search terms which you probably wouldn't have seen. You'd have seen people typing just solicitor, but now Law Firm Lawyer comes up a lot more because the public is starting to use terms that they've seen in the States. Let's carry on, see if we can find any other interesting ones. Solicitors in Reading. I wanted to find something that was a bit longer, but I don't think we're going to be successful because the longer a search term is, the more chance you've got of it being a decent question. Let's select those 3 as well. And people use how-to searches a lot now. Let's see what this predicts for us. So I changed it to how to find a Reading solicitor, saying that there's no searches a month for that. But let's see what else comes up, because you can always just take a non-geographic search and then turn it into a local one. So if we sort by the keyword by relevance, so click on Reading. So we've got our Reading search terms up again. If we just put in there how to find a good solicitor, then let's try that. how to find a good solicitor, 260 searches a month. So I'd be inclined to say how to find a good solicitor in Reading, write a blog post answering that, and that will get people typing it. Google's not picking up many, but I know that people are starting to use how-to search terms much more now, so I'm sure it will get you something, and it may even get you people in the surrounding area, or people that aren't close to you but that can still use your services. So I can spend hours on here looking for search terms. Look, you've got one there, find a conveyancing solicitor, so you could do find a Reading solicitor, finding a solicitor, quality solicitors. There's all sorts of things. There you go, how to find a good conveyancing solicitor. So what I said to you is the longer search terms, they're well worth answering. There's only 28 searches a month, but because it's long, what we call long tail keyword, it's likely to attract quality traffic. And if you then add on the end of your article, if you're in Reading, how to find a good conveyancing solicitor in Reading, you'll get that local traffic as well. So the Google AdWords keyword search tool is something you should use every single time you're posting new content onto your website to make sure that you end up with a very targeted article that will bring traffic, and it will bring focused traffic, which is much more likely to turn into clients. Once you've selected keywords, if you want to see them all together, you can just copy and paste everything you've selected. I controlled C there, paste it in there, the control V, search, and then it will put all of the searches you were looking at in this top box so that you've got them all in a handy position. You can then either screen capture that page and save those for article titles for future, or send them off to your article writer and say write an article answering each of these points, and away you go. If you're in need of copywriters for your website, one of the things I always stress is you need to be adding new content. I've got freelance copywriters, and as Marketing for Solicitors members, you're more than welcome to email me on m4s@samsungconsulting.co.uk, and I will send you the details. Thanks very much.